Welcome back to Wainsider, where we delve into the profound and often heartbreaking stories that define professional wrestling. Tonight, we're confronting a tragedy that's left fans utterly heartbroken, the sudden death of a superstar whose light burned so brightly it seemed eternal. The WWE Universe is in collective mourning, and we're here to navigate the emotional depths of a loss that feels too soon, too shattering. His career ignited like a supernova, a whirlwind of charisma and athleticism that captured the world's imagination. Power coursed through his every performance, turning matches into spectacles that redefined entertainment. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was an icon, building a legacy that bridged generations with his larger-than-life presence. Yet, that power came laced with immense pressure, the kind that tests the soul as much as the body. Expectations from fans, promoters, and his own unyielding drive pushed him to extremes, every slam and storyline a high-stakes gamble. Behind the glory, the weight of being the face of an industry bore down, turning triumphs into a relentless grind. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. In the shadows of his ascent, silent resentment began to brew among those closest to him. Family members who shared his passion, who walked similar paths, felt the eclipse of his stardom. Backstage, their support masked a quiet frustration, dreams deferred in the glow of his success, sowing subtle discord in bonds forged by blood. This emotional history reaches back to a family dynasty in wrestling, where heritage was both gift and curse. Their name carried the echoes of past glories, a legacy demanding replication and elevation. But such pressure warped pride into obligation, turning shared roots into a tangled web of admiration and unspoken rivalry. Away from the arena's thunder, those tensions simmered in private, strained family gatherings, calls home that grew shorter. His power, once a family rallying point, began to feel like a divide, pulling him into isolation while others grappled with their place in the shadow. The bond, once unbreakable, started to show faint cracks. He embodied resilience, his in-ring mastery a beacon for aspiring stars, each championship run a chapter in an epic tale. But the pressure mounted, a ceaseless tide eroding his edges. Fans cheered the hero, but Kin saw the toll, the exhaustion, the sacrifices that chipped away at the man beneath the persona. Silent resentment deepened in the hearts of relatives who felt sidelined, their contributions overlooked amid his meteoric rise. It wasn't malice, but a poignant ache, love intertwined with envy, loyalty shadowed by what-ifs. They celebrated his wins, yet each accolade whispered of paths not taken, fueling a quiet undercurrent. The emotional history of this journey is a paradox of power's embrace, propelling him to immortality while straining his world. The pressure to sustain the spotlight, to honor the family name, wore him thin, even as he shone brightest. Their legacy, a crown of honor, became a forge, hammering bonds that once seemed forged in steel. In the locker room's haze, surface-level unity hid the growing rifts, but the vibes spoke volumes. Peers nodded in respect, but family whispers carried weight, lessons in ambition's double edge. His power inspired, yet bred envy, a silent hum threading through every backstage encounter. As demands intensified, so did the silent resentments, tightening like a noose with each grueling tour. He forged ahead, a symbol of endurance, but the emotional strain was evident. The family's tie, once a sanctuary, revealed fissures, burdened by grievances aired only in solitude. This narrative was inexorably leading to fracture, the emotional backstory a harbinger of chaos. Power had crowned him, but pressure had hollowed him, and silent resentment had primed those nearest for an unthinkable turn. Then, in a climax that ripped through the WWE like lightning, the attack struck, a savage betrayal from within the family fold. Halfway through this unraveling, the shocking assault revealed itself, not as fate's cruel hand but as Kin-turning weapon, a premeditated strike born of years of pent-up fury that left him fallen, the ring a scene of visceral horror. The crowd's roar turned to stunned silence, hearts breaking as the betrayal etched itself into history. Power, his lifelong ally, betrayed him in that instant, offering no shield against familial treachery. The pressure he'd shouldered exploded into devastation, his final moments a tragic crescendo of shock and sorrow. Backstage, the locker room crumbled into disarray, superstars huddling in disbelief, tears flowing unchecked. Real whispers circulated, accounts of overlooked signs, of family feuds that had smoldered unchecked, now igniting into this fatal blaze. The emotional aftermath surged like a tempest, drowning all in grief's unrelenting grip. This sudden death wasn't mere accident, it was the brutal endpoint of betrayal's arc. The family's WWE legacy, woven from decades of sweat and spotlight, now fractures irreparably, stained by an act that shatters its core. The assault didn't just end a life, it severed a lineage, casting doubt on its enduring tale. In the ensuing haze, the locker room lingered in somber vigil, reflections heavy with what-ifs. Real backstage murmurs painted regret's portrait, opportunities for mending lost to pride, tensions that escalated beyond repair. The urge to press onward with profound mourning, ensnaring everyone in limbo's hold. For the family's legacy, this tragedy heralds a profound pivot, altering alliances and narratives for generations. The power he wielded, once a familial fortress, now echoes hollow, his throne toppled by treachery's blade. Their storied name, wrestling's bedrock, bears this wound's burden, its luster forever dulled. Fans worldwide are heartbroken, tributes flooding feeds with raw emotion and disbelief. The footage of that fateful attack, replayed in anguished loops, pierces the soul of the WWE universe. This wasn't scripted fate, it was a real rupture, a death that eclipses entertainment with undeniable tragedy. The emotional aftermath lays bare a harsh reality, betrayal wounds deepest from blood's own hand. Silent resentments, long hushed, carve eternal scars, underscoring how pressure can snap even fortified ties. The legacy persists, yet transformed, inscribed with irreversible anguish. In the stillness post-storm, the locker room contemplates fidelity and forfeiture, each soul weighed by the event's shadow. Real whispers allude to profound divides, unity's chances squandered to ego and oversight. That night's horror endures, a laceration to the roster spirit. As we dissect this calamity, the family's WWE legacy teeters at an abyss. Power, erstwhile guiding light, sours to bitterness, and reconstruction's onus looms immense. The attack reauthors their chronicle, transmuting kin to killers, glory to grief, hollowing unity's space. In this poignant contemplation, betrayal stands as the archfiend, corroding faith in a realm reliant on it. Shattered links, once this clan's sinew, scatter like debris, gashes too raw for swift salve. Blood, poured in arena and essence, narrates allegiance's trial and tragic shortfall. The WWE universe grieves in unison, a shared exhale over lost potential and shattered illusions. This superstar's sudden death testifies to wrestling's mortal pulse, where power and pressure forge fateful collisions. The legacy abides, laden with this sorrow's heft. Thank you for joining us on Wainsider, where we pay tribute to tales rendering wrestling beyond spectacle, a chronicle of blood, toil, and lament. Until next time, cherish your kin, for herein, the divide, twixt protector and peril thins perilously.